Lifestyle, child of God. Um, I want to get straight into this. I don't got a lot of time, but yeah, Trump is definitely turning America into something, and this is looking more and more like imperialism. Um, this is looking more and more like an imperial nation. But anyways, I want to start with some headlines. So Trump nominated Lindsey Halligan for top Virginia prosecutor, and see, he basically forced the guy that was there in that position out of office because he wouldn't bring up charges or could not figure out how to charge Letitia James out of New York. Um, and Trump is after her. She was after Trump. Now Trump is after her. And so the guy that was in that position has been removed. So Trump went and found him a Baywatch looking white woman to she looks like she belongs on that show Baywatch. I'm gonna be honest with you. But he went and got this woman Lindsay and he nominated her. She's probably going to get approved to be put in that position so that she can go after Miss James, a foundational Black American. Um, and so this is a you're seeing literally revenge being played out right in front of your eyes. Um, and for some reason I get it. You know, what I mean, they did. Everybody was going after Trump, but Trump is really going after folks. He's really going after folks, and what we're seeing is, well, even with the rest of these articles I'm about to talk about, what we're seeing is the consolidation of power. Trump is consolidating power. He is making it um, that the Republican Party is about to be literally the CCP. Okay, there's only about to be one party in the nation of America, and it's going to be MAGA. Also, um, Trump threatened, because he needs the Democrats to do something, right? Even though they have so much unity with the Republicans, but he needs the Democrats um, to approve certain things, and so he threatened basically a government shutdown, and basically threatened that these democratic these democratic programs or programs that were designed by Democrats or fueled by Democratic power. Um, that they're going to not get funded, right? Because he's going to shut down the government. And you got to watch the video because he's a mob boss now. We elected a mob boss, and Trump is basically threatening to shut down the goddamn government if he doesn't get the votes he needs for his bill. And he said he funds Social Security and the military, but pretty much that's it. That everything else is gonna, and he said it's gonna be very bad. It's gonna be very, very bad. You know how Trump talks. So, yeah, not only is he going after Letitia James for going after him, you're literally seeing revenge play out. So he nominated this woman, Lindsay Halligan, but he's also threatened to shut down the government um, if the Democrats don't give him the votes he needs for this particular bill. We're also seeing um, now we're also seeing TikTok being bought by the U.S. Right? We knew that was going to happen, but the type of investors, right, that are involved, and Oracle, who it's funny how this is all playing out, right? Because Oracle made $100 billion in the market. Oracle made 100 billion. Hello, Halloween two time. How are you? Oracle made 100 billion in the market and became the founder, the CEO, founder, became the richest man in the United States. But they made $100 billion, right? And now we're finding out that they're a part of this deal. They're a big part of this deal. I think they own 80% of Oracle. Um, there's other people involved, other major players like Silver Lake. Um, they're also involved in this consortium of investors that are going to be taking over TikTok. Um, and so it's just interesting. And so we know that, and Oracle is not even all that great, right? There's Oracle is not the shiniest tech company out there, right? Um, well, we know that they're in bed with Trump. You know what I mean? And Trump already is a billionaire off crypto, right? So it's just we're seeing these things. You're seeing Trump literally consolidate power. You're just seeing him consolidate power in the United States, and we're basically about to be turned into China. We're about to be turned into the CCP. We're about to be turned into we're about to be turned into yeah, Laurel. I'm not shouting out your dad, but shout out to Laura Lloyd. How you doing? Shout out to your dad, anyways. But yeah, I'm not saying that name. I got the pun of the name there. Um, yeah, but you're literally seeing the consolidation of power. Trump is using his lawyers, and he actually, I read an article the other day that he got approval to fire Miss Slaughter, who was, I forgot her position, but he fired her temporarily until the Supreme Court discusses the matter. But they allowed him to fire this lady, right? So you're seeing the consolidation of power by Donald Trump, and Trump is some type of special person, right? Um, Not only in history, but spiritually. Spiritually, Trump is a special person. Uh-oh, God. How do I attract Lucifer 666 into the building? Lucifer 666. Shout out to you in the sense of like, thanks for being in the building. Um, People can read your remark. I'm not gonna read it. It was funny though. That was kind of funny. That was hilarious. But all praise be to God. We don't worship Lucifer or whatever. But Lucifer's always around, right? That's what they say. He's always around. He's always watching. Um, Anywho, but yeah, Trump is a special spiritual figure, right? Because nowhere have we seen when he was in Saudi Arabia, he was making deals with MBS, right? The Crown Prince. He had this thing happen where they had him walking down these huge hallways, right, by the way, huge hallways with huge ceilings. And the women there, they took their hijabs off and they started throwing their hair around, long, long, long hair, and they were just throwing it around in circles, right? Throwing their hair around in circles. Um, Interesting. You've never seen that done before, and the reports are that that's only done for special, special, special people, like people who are really special. But even when Trump was just recently in England, visiting the Crown, they did something that they normally don't do when it came to political figures, right? This is something that they did that only happened for Trump, and it don't happen. It just doesn't happen. So we're seeing things play out, and I believe that we're starting to notice, and we're going to wake up and realize after this first year that Trump may well be the anti-Christos. He may well be. The guy spams the same stupid two jokes all the time. Lord Lloyd said, "That's his name. What's wrong?" Um, I'm sure it is, dear. I'm sure it is. The guy spams the same two. Yeah. Um, and it's just interesting, and it's also, it's not necessarily scary, but it's very interesting, and we should be very, very, very well aware. Again, I've made this warning before. the Jewish folks didn't pay attention to their politics, or they didn't think too much of the politics at the time when they were in Germany, and we know what came out of that. And now we're seeing the same thing in America. We're seeing literally the same thing in America. Even with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is a, there is a figure in Nazi Germany who resembled, or who Charlie Kirk resembled, right? They were similar. But we're also finding out that Charlie Kirk and uh, uh, Floyd, um, George Floyd, have the same birthday. You can't make this. You can't make this shit up. God bless Trump. God bless America, and God bless you, sir. You know what? I do agree with you on everything except for God blessing the Trump. Because Trump. I don't know if Trump is good for America. I'm starting to look at it like, okay, I'm not exactly sure what's going on. But what I will say is that this is imperialism going on. You're seeing the consolidation of power. Um, you're seeing the consolidation of power into one hand, into one man, into one party. And that's just not democracy, everybody. That's not democracy. Um, but the Jewish people, they didn't pay attention to their politics, and we know what happened with that. And I'm telling you, I'm telling you, I'm telling you, even for the people that support Trump, all the MAGA folks, you're gonna wake up one day and you're gonna say to yourself, "Hot damn it, I should have never voted for Donald." Um, these things that are happening in our country are prolific and profound, and we really need to pay attention to them. But yeah, George Floyd and Charlie Kirk have literally the same birthday. Obviously, they were born in different years, but they have the same birthday, and you can't make this stuff up. And so this is why I was telling you guys the other day when I talked about Charlie, not negatively though, that I believe that he was sacrificed. I believe that Charlie Kirk was sacrificed, and that they're using to, for him to be modernized to martyr him, so that people will worship him as an image, right? And then also notice that Trump has these golden images that around DC that have been put up. And Trump has these golden images around DC that have been put up, and it's interesting because it's just Bible, more Bible prophecy. Like, okay, you're putting up golden images. Okay, got it. This is what they did, and God punished them for that. Um, they did this in the Old Testament, and God truly, truly punished them for that. So, family, real Americans, real American people who care about democracy, who care about equality, we had better wake up. The signs are there, and we're woken. The thing is what are we going to do about it? What can we do about it, and what are we going to do about it? Because Trump is assimilating power to the point where you can't do anything, right? Jimmy Kimmel, his show got taken off air. Now they just put it back on air. But his show was taken off air to warn him, like, yo, be quiet. Don't speak against Trump. Don't speak against Charlie Kirk or any of the MAGA or whatever. And that's scary. I mean, you know, the thing is people make fun of people online and people talk about people online and say a lot of untrue things about people, including myself. But um, at some point, it's not free speech, right? The when you, but at some point, it is also being in a position of power like Trump, at some point you just gotta kind of just roll with things. Obama didn't do the same things that Trump did, right? Obama, um, people talked about Obama. They said he wasn't American. He said he was born in Kenya. He was America's first gay president. His wife was a transgender, was a man who transformed into Michelle. They said many of things about Obama. that are very well not true, but at the same time, we're not realizing that, Obama just kind of let these things slide off his back. He didn't try to consort power to the point where people can't speak out or say the things that they want to say. This is America. But yeah, we're gonna get down to a place where we're all gonna wake up and be like, F exclamation exclamation K. Like, who did we vote for and what's going on with our country? Tourism is down. Restaurant industry is down. Things are very expensive right now. We better head wake up, family. We better head wake up. And not that again, I'm saying the wrong thing. We better head wake up. People are woke. The thing is what are you gonna do about it? The only thing I could do about it is advocate on my channel. But I want to put out a separate message, but I'll start the message here for those who are watching. The Democratic Party, the DNC, you need me to run for president. You need me to run for politics. You need me, DNC. The Democratic Party, you need me. You need somebody to affect the minds of the youth, to affect the minds of the old, that can relate, that's balanced in political views, that's still young and vibrant and positive. You guys don't have a chance in HE double hockey stick without me. You need me to run for political office. I will help you change things. I will help you get things leveled out. And nothing against the Republicans because I do find myself to be somewhat of a conservative. I do have Republican viewpoints, and depending on the topic matters, right? Oh, we got one. Chivas. Anyways, I'm not even going to block you. I don't have time. I mean, block. I don't have time to put you in timeout, and I don't care what you have to say. It looks like the MAGA people are the haters and the MAGA people are up early this morning. I'm gonna have to start doing some more early morning casts. Yeah, but shout out to the DNC and the Democratic Party. You need me to affect change in the political system. Um, and you're losing right now really, really badly. The Democratic Party actually is all over the place and they're imploding. The Democratic Party is imploding. Lord Lloyd, there is free speech. There is free speech, but it's got to be a balance, though, right? There's got to be a balance to it. There's got to be a balance to it because a lot of the free speech stuff that we see online on the internet is not free speech. It's just bashing folks, or we're making up stuff to keep people down. A lot of it is free speech, right? But a lot of it is just attacks on each other, and we call it free speech. This is borderline not free speech doing that when you're harming others, right? If you're harming others, how is that free speech? But at the same time, you should be able to speak your political views and you should be able to debate them. Now that is free speech. So it's a catch-22, this free speech thing, which is not free. Because free speech comes because we fight and are a global power, right? If we weren't a global power, then would there be a freedom of speech? Because a lot of other countries don't have the same rights, right? You can't just say what you want to say. Um, Lord Lloyd says words don't harm. Yes, they do, and that's why you see people in Pennsylvania shooting up police officers. That's why you see school shootings. That's why you see all the violence that you see. Really, is because of people's words that do hurt people, right? People's words do hurt people. Not everybody has emotional intelligence or has the balance that others have when it comes to the tolerance, I should say, when it comes to words. But I like that you brought those points up because these are points that I would like to debate on. So thank you, Lord Lloyd, for bringing those points up. Anyways, I gotta go. I gotta go to class, but I just wanted to chime in and tell you that this world is turning. America is turning into an imperialistic country. It looks like we're gonna have an emperor who wears new clothes. Okay, we're gonna have an emperor very, very soon here, and you won't have rights at all because Trump is going to, the way that he's consolidating power, Trump is going to take away all your rights, um, free speech included, and you won't have rights at all. Not only that, you won't even be able to afford to live in America, right? America is turning into Dubai, and yeah, it's a very sad thing. I feel sorry for our country. Anyways, I gotta go. Thank you all for who joined. Thank you all for who liked and subscribed. If you did to choose to like and subscribe, it's your choice. But I appreciate you if you did, and thank you for the viewership. I don't usually get on it early in the morning, but I just wanted to talk about these things because, yeah, freedom of speech, lifestyle, child of God. Peace.